Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video pertaining to Spider-Man and Miles Morales for the PS5 coming holiday of 2020. I yet again can't express how excited I am for the release of this game. I still can't really fathom that it will be here, before the end of this year. I mean, 2020 has had a lot of its struggles, but this game is something that I think has really lifted some spirits for me, and I'm sure a lot of other gamers out there. Today, I wanted to do a video accompanied by some gameplay that I did within Spider-Man PS4 to just talk about five things I think I would be interested to see in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Things that you know I would have liked to maybe see included in Spider-Man PS4 or even just its sequel or anything. And I'm sure that while the game is probably pretty close to its finished product, considering we only have a couple months until it's released. Insomniac has been known for listening to the fans and taking in fan feedback. I mean, look at how we got the charge jump added in the game in kind of like a last stretch before the release of Spider-Man PS4 in uh, in 2018. So, five things in no particular order that I think I would enjoy to see in Spider-Man Miles Morales include the following. Number one, expanded fighting mechanics. When I say that, I feel like I'm mostly talking about more acrobatic combat animations. I think one of the things I really loved about the trailer for Spider-Man PS4 and the gameplay that premiered at E3 in 2017. If you look back at that, they they had such a variety of move set. I think displayed by Peter, um, and he had like a launch up move, I think, where he kicked an enemy up into the air and then jumped up after him and everything. And I think even just small tweaks like that, where within the game, how you got enemies into the air, you do an uppercut, right? Well, maybe if there was even just a variety in like how you get enemies into the air, whether that's an uppercut, kicking them up, like doing some kind of spinning flip kick. I think just like a variety in the way the fighting looks. And even if you notice, most of Peter's moves in Spider-Man PS4 involve lots of kicks and everything. There's very few times that you get like punching animations, which they were pretty frequent in the first demos, but then in the final product, they weren't really present. And so I think having more variety in that would be just a nice tweak to see that they expanded upon it, had different ways that you get enemies into the air, and also even different kinds of finishers. The next one on my list is probably one of my most favorite. It's improved parkour mechanics. Something I was super looking forward to within Spider-Man PS4 was, that scene that we all know about where Peter is, jumping through the diner and busting through the window. I definitely expected to see a lot more within the parkour mechanics of Spider-Man PS4, and there were only like select few pre-prepared scenes where he would utilize different parkour mechanics than what you would see in the free roam, such as when you're going through I think like the building after the helicopter crashes the construction tools through and everything. That was one of the times where you actually saw some different parkour moves other than the ones that you'd see in the free roam. I definitely think that they have a unique opportunity with this game being about Miles because while he may not be as graceful as Peter because he's not been, Spider Man quite as long, he's just going to be starting out. Because he's younger, I think that there will be a chance to kind of, I guess, attribute a little bit more athleticism and acrobatics and just natural nimbleness, and so that presents that good opportunity to maybe expand on some of the parkour mechanics, even maybe possibly make them a little more interactive, other than just holding R2. Maybe there are different button combos that you can do to do parkour tricks, similar to how you can do the tricks while swinging while holding triangle and circle. This kind of goes into my next vein for another improvement upon the game, which that would include more combat transitions from inside to outside combat. And that maybe just comes with expanding more inside areas during the free roam. Kind of goes with what I was saying about the diner scene, where I think we all really were looking forward to, being able to fight bad guys indoors and take the fight to outside and back in and everything. Maybe fighting someone on like an upper floor of a building and then the fight moving on to outside and everything, you webbing them up on the side of the building. I think it would just be a pretty cool addition to the game that will make a lot of fans happy just to see them expand on a lot of things that already really worked within side Spider-Man PS4. Um, maybe another coffee shop scene. I think that would be great if we could, take down petty crimes inside restaurants or coffee shops. I just think that'd be pretty cool. It would really show that they truly expanded upon the free roam open world. They'd already made a massive New York City and including more inside environments and being able to transition the fights in and out of there would probably also utilize the power of the PS5 to have less, load screen transitions. One of the other things I think I'd really enjoy to see in Spider-Man and Miles Morales would be more small scale boss fights. I'd kind of like to refer to those as maybe mini boss fights. What I'm referencing really is, Peter fighting against the large demon thug from the early E3 trailer moments. That was kind of depicted like it was, a small scale boss fight. You had to figure out a different way to defeat the enemy. He could still, kind of attack while you were hitting and beating him up and everything. And I think that, something Insomniac did really well was its boss fights within the game. But maybe if they could also have like, even side missions where you have small scale boss fights. They're not, fully fleshed out like those of the main story, but you have to figure out really different and creative ways to defeat the enemy other than just, you know, fighting them head on or anything like that. And for the final thing on my list that I know that I was super excited to try to do, but didn't really exactly get to um, do it the way that I planned with Spider-Man PS4 was the choice to go full stealth for an entire side mission, like taking out a demon base or a Sable camp. I think that this was one of the greater aspects of uh, the Batman Arkham series that you had missions where you had to fully take down your enemies in a stealth fashion because you couldn't combat them with guns. Obviously, Peter and Miles are able to go toe to toe with enemies that have weapons or even special suits and everything. But I think having the option to fully complete a mission going full stealth, taking down multiple waves of enemies with stealth mechanics would be a great addition to the game so that so that it wouldn't be just completing one wave stealth and then having to go, as Brian and Tahar said, webs blazing for the remainder of the mission. I think giving players that choice to do either or can just utilize a new level of skill for certain players. We want to try to figure out how can we take down all the enemies as quickly as possible without getting caught. And especially with Miles's powers like camouflage, I think that it would just be a great opportunity to include that in the game, and maybe even expand upon the stealth combat. With double takedowns, something that also occurred in the Batman Arkham series, and even I think the Amazing Spider-Man game series as well. All in all, there's only a few months until Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5 releases shortly after the PS5 actually comes out. And so there's no telling if Insomniac has enough time to add these features in if if they haven't already done so. But there are just definitely things that I think would be pretty cool to see them utilize to expand the gameplay mechanics and overall experience of the Marvel Spider-Man universe. Leave a comment on features that you think that Insomniac should include in their future games in regards to the Marvel Spider-Man universe. Now feel free to sit back and enjoy the rest of this scene as Miles confronts some thugs after nearly escaping Rhino, as we continue to get hyped to see his story progress at the end of this year, 2020.
Just give us the wallet! Give it us, man! Help!
Hey, leave him alone!
Big mistake, kid.
You can't just push people around like that.
Or what? Like this? Haha, kid's got guts.
Hip squared.
What the hell's he saying? Not gonna be saying anything in a second. Oh! Whoa.
You want a taste?
Nah, I'm good, kid.
You want a taste? I gotta work on my fight banner.
Miles? Hey, I've been trying to reach you. You okay?
Hey, so, don't freak out, but, I gotta fill you in on some stuff.